On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team locks down behind New Zealand's oldest prison walls, home to murderers' spirits.
She felt something sharp at her throat, and a voice saying, "Don't move, I could kill you if I want to."
Paul gets the chills when an entity goes behind his back.
There's someone in there.
Sinister shadows play tricks on Barry and Chris.
I'm seeing movement over there.
Chris.
Do you touch me?
No. Someone doesn't like you here, Chris.
Can the team reach imprisoned souls from beyond the gallows?
Make that device blink again.
That was awesome.
Okay, folks, welcome to sunny New Zealand. We have a great case coming up, and Susan's about to give us the download.
We are headed over to Napier Prison. It is the oldest prison here in New Zealand. This prison housed some of New Zealand's most notorious murderers. Now, one of the criminals that was executed here at Napier Prison is Roland Edwards. Now, Roland was hanged and buried at the prison for the brutal murder of his entire family. Now, this prison is no longer a prison. They opened it as a hostel for backpackers, and they've been experiencing very unusual claims of paranormal activity. Doors are slamming shut and locking people in rooms. People have been getting touched and scratched by unseen entities. There's also reported to be a possession in the infirmary.
Wow.
We're going to be meeting with our client, Marion Waka. She wants to know what is behind all this phenomena. She thinks it could possibly be related to Roland Edwards, but isn't quite sure. We're going to be staying overnight there as well, so hopefully we could give her some answers.
I just can't imagine staying overnight at a prison. I think I'd rather be in a tent.
Well, guys, there's the prison directly in front of us.
Wow.
Really, that prison sound, huh?
Yeah. Hello,
Marion, how are you? Pleased to meet you. I'm Barry, and this is Chris.
Hi.
And Paul.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. We called GHI in here so that we could find out what's causing paranormal activity up here. I would be very curious to find out whether or not we've got Roland Herbert Edwards still here, or any of the other people who were hanged here.
So what can you tell us about this prison?
It was an army barracks originally, but it came along as a prison in 1862.
So what about the paranormal activity?
Hundreds of people that have had different experiences.
One night, Marion and I were sitting in the office. There we were, chatting away, and then suddenly we could see this figure just moving across the courtyard. It was sort of not moving like a person moves, you know, it was just floating.
Well, we'd like to see some of these areas of paranormal activity if possible.
Certainly, I'd love to show you them.
Great.
This is the hanging yard. If you just look up behind you here, we've got the gallows where the prisoners would be hanged. Roland Herbert Edwards murdered his wife and 4 young children. He clubbed and stabbed them to death.
While they were executing him on the first drop, he did not die. They dropped him again. He didn't die that time either. The hangman grabbed Roland by the leg, gave him a few yanks until he heard the crack of the neck.
This room here is called the escape route. And this is where we had a lady lying in bed, trying to get some sleep, and the room got really cold. And then she felt a weight on the side of her face. And a voice saying, "Don't move, I could kill you if I want to." And she said she felt something sharp at her throat, The next morning, I said, let's go on a tour. She just looked at Roland Edwards and she said, that's him. That's the guy who came and visited me last night.
So there seems to be a lot of activity seems to circulate around.
The Roland Herbert Edwards hanging, yes, there does.
Okay, well, it's something we will look into. Where are we moving on to next?
Okay, if you just follow me, I'll take you to the next place. This is the detox room, and I brought you in here to tell you the story of Kiriopa Tarau. He was a Maori elder.
The Maori are the native people in New Zealand, right?
Yes, you're quite right. What happened was the Reverend Carl Faulkner, a German missionary, killed Kiriopa's sister and 2 children. So he was furious. He went to the Reverend Carl Faulkner and chopped off his head, and then Kiriopa scooped out the eyes and ate them.
And what type of paranormal activity is reported here?
This room used to be set up with 5 bunks in it. A lady was on the bottom bunk and the bed actually started to bang against the side of the wall. And everyone was saying, are you all right? Are you all right? And she said, no. And she could see a round Maori face with a full facial tattoo hovering in front of her. So she was out of here very quickly.
Okay, shall we move on?
This is the infirmary here.
What types of claims of activity have been reported here?
We had a crowd of backpackers staying here, and one of them had a presence visit him for 3 or 4 nights running. He was freaking out. There was lots of screaming and things like that. The other guys in the room thought that he could possibly have been possessed by some strange lady.
So something was coming into this room, was making advances to him and possessed him?
Yes. We hope you guys will stay the night and check it out for us.
No one else stays in here now. It's just going to be us.
It's just going to be you guys.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yes, let's
Great.
go. In here, we've had people push and scratch marks on people's heads. All those sorts of things make it a place where people don't like to come.
There's a couple of times I've been in here doing things and I felt like something's coming up behind you. It's like a feeling that you know somebody's right there. You turn around and have a look, you can't see anything.
Just up the passageway, I was in cell number 11 and the door just slammed shut. I was kicking and pushing and my brother came up and rescued me. It was scary at the time because I was sitting in the pitch black. Okay, if you just follow me, I'll take you to the next place.
Great.
This is the women's wing. This area we had some backpackers stay and they were in rooms across from each other.
There was nobody around, just myself and my cousin. We woke up in the night, looked across the cell and watched her flip 180 degrees in her bed.
We just finished the Napier prison tour. We've learned that Roland Edwards is buried inside these walls and said to haunt the place. So we're coming in here, we're going to use a lot of different equipment. We're going to see if he truly is haunting Napier prison.
All right, now just spin it somewhat to your right. That's it. Okay, I can see everything now.
We're hoping to get Marion some answers. I know that she is obviously concerned for the people that stay here. She wants to make sure that everybody's safe and nobody's going to be worried about possessions or being attacked, scratched, or locked in rooms.
Hey, how's the setup going?
We're good to go. What we actually have in our first camera here is the courtyard. Somebody saw an apparition. What we're looking at is cells, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatnot going down there. Here's what we're looking at is the women's cells down the bottom there.
Good, excellent. These guys get the lights out and have a good investigation.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, so let's do the infirmary first. Scene of the possession.
Supposed possession. Barry and I were investigating the infirmary, and that's the area where a man was supposedly possessed by this female apparition. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, yeah, it's an infirmary, but at the same time, even if it was a nurse, why the hell would she be trying to possess some guy?
You know, that's the thing. I'm not quite sure that it was a nurse. Of course, that's more fitting to the incubi, the succubi, to that particular type of entity. Incubi, succubi, of course, tend to, putting it nice, molest
more
their victims
sexual.
first. And then, of course, then the possession goes on more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not that type, could be something else. The only way to find out is to lie on top of this bed. I climbed up on top of the bed. It seems that whatever this thing was seemed to be attracted toward males staying in that room.
Do you work here in the prison? Are you a nurse? Why did you attack the man that was staying here? Was it something you liked or disliked about him?
Chris?
Yeah. What?
It felt like 2 fingers onto my right shin.
Okay.
Just rested down onto it and then lifted off.
Okay, I'm gonna move the camera here.
Hold on.
Yeah. What? Are you okay?
Did you notice anything?
No.
At first it looked like a shadow, but it was no bigger than this.
Okay.
Because it just looked like a head. But whenever it got to here, it got bigger. It got to about my height.
Yeah.
I happened to witness this small figure. It was as black as boot polish. As I spun the camera around, it was gone.
We're told about a man who was staying in this room. And he was being harassed by a woman that was here. If she's here, could she please talk to us?
I look like, looking across there now. It would have been a child. And why suddenly it grew up into something else, I'm not quite sure.
Something keeps...
What?
I just keep feeling something like right here in my head. It's like the 3rd time I keep... It's the same spot each time.
You're not quite sure what it is touching the top of your head.
Yeah.
In Maori culture, that's a sign of disrespect.
Really?
Yeah.
So what does it mean if they do it intentionally, that they
don't like you?
So I'm not one to get the creeps very often, but for some reason this room gives me the creeps.
There is something more to this room than meets the eye.
This place used to hold some pretty bad characters. Roland Edwards killed his wife and 3 kids.
So he was hung here?
Yeah, as well as buried. Okay, so this is the escape route. A woman was staying here. She felt something press her face into the bed and told to lay still. I could have killed you if I wanted to.
Wow. You know what? Have those ambient temperature devices.
Mm-hmm.
It measures significant temperature fluctuations.
That's great. Scott placed 2 ambient temperature deviation devices, the millimeter and the mini TV, on the top bunk.
Joe and Scott, main cell area, EVP session. Okay, Roland, if you're in here with us, we need you to make those devices turn color.
Can you come forward and make those lights go off, please? Oh, it just flashed. Oh, that was strange.
What?
I saw something whiz by the door in the hallway. Can you come forward and make those lights go off, please? Oh, it just flashed. Oh, that was strange.
What?
I thought I saw something whiz by the door in the hallway.
Is anyone out there? If you're still here with us, please come forward. We need to see more.
Scott and I were investigating the escape room, and during our session, I thought I saw something tall walk by. It kind of looked whitish, grayish, and it went left to right. Did I just see you in this hallway?
My friend Joe thought he saw something. It might have been you.
There's nothing here. This place is creepy.
Very interested in the detox room.
Barry and I were investigating the detox room, and this is where people believe to have seen the face of Kirupa Tura.
Kirupa? If you're here with us tonight, can you come forward to us? Show us an example of your face, your tattooed face, like you did the other girl.
Barry and I don't think that you're a bad person.
Chris.
What?
Just let her heard something move over there.
You saw something there?
No, I heard something move.
Oh.
Shh.
What is it?
It sounded like someone was out there.
Was something dragged?
Remember the rapping that came after that? Did you hear the rapping?
Is anybody outside?
I don't know. Let's go check.
It sounded like something was dragged. At one point, we heard some sounds between the detox building and the building that was directly next to it.
Turn this way.
It was loud enough in the alley that we ran out of the detox building to go check outside. Where does it go?
I don't think it goes anywhere.
It just stops there.
Just trash cans back here.
Trash cans? We didn't find anybody back there. There was no other investigators. I don't know. We couldn't find anything that would explain the noises we were hearing. What the hell were we hearing?
I don't know. Considering that this place...
Did you touch me?
No.
Like this?
No.
And again, I felt something on my head. I have no idea what the heck's going on, but that's the fourth time tonight that I felt something touch either my forehead or my hair, and it's a little strange.
That's odd. The strange noises and you getting touched in the head again.
Yeah, number 4.
Someone doesn't like you here, Chris.
I got this camera rolling. I don't think I need IR light in here anymore.
No. So Susan and I investigated the infirmary to follow up on claims from Barry and Chris, who had reported seeing shadows. Both of them, in fact, got touched. We were using our night vision camera, the audio recorder, meter. We were using the digital photography.
Hello. My name is Susan, and this is my friend Paul. Can you please tell me what your name is? I know that this was once the infirmary. Is there any way you can help me with this cold that I have? Shh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that from down there?
I hear something here.
If that was you making that sound, can you do that again for affirmation? I keep hearing movement coming from the cells. We were getting the sounds, very unusual sounds in the cell block behind the infirmary coming from the other side of the wall.
I can hear voices in there. There's definitely somebody in there.
You hear that?
What was it?
That was one of the cell doors opening.
Really?
There's no way I can open this door out here.
No.
Susan, to the rest of the team.
Go ahead, Susan.
Are you investigating the jail cells?
No, we are not.
Copy that. Dude, there's someone in there. If, like, I swear to God, nobody's in that room, what the hell is making all that noise? Dude, there's someone in there. If nobody's in that room, what the hell is making all that noise?
Susan and I investigated the infirmary, where a lot of stuff has actually been going on. You know, movement going on, from us hearing voices, mumbling.
Was that you? You hear that tapping? There's tapping going on all around us.
I heard it. I'm intrigued to try and sort of see if we can sort of get something to come forward and maybe give us an idea of really what's going on in there.
Maybe you've heard of a man by the name of Edwards.
Well, there we go. So.
All right. Barry and I decided to do a thermal sweep of the main cell block to make sure there are no natural drafts that can be confused for cold spots.
Let's see.
There are claims of people being pushed and scratched here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird wing, huh?
It is. A little weird. That's strange. Just for a second there.
Yeah.
It looked like someone's face in the corner. It was up here. It just was unusual. This possible face that appeared. It was very strange. It was very fast. I think it's definitely something that we have to follow up in analysis. Strange. What was back there?
I don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
Barry and I had started off investigating the cell block when we noticed this door that went out to this whole back area. It was this caged-in area that kind of looked like an old rec room.
What's this?
It's like a gym.
Wasn't somewhere on the tour, but sometimes our best evidence comes out of places that we weren't shown on the tours.
Barry and Chris in the prison jail.
If there is someone here, are you a prisoner here?
Can you tell us if Roland Edwards still haunts this prison?
Keep seeing movement over there. Like in the doorway.
There was one point that I was seeing some sort of shadow in the hall.
There's something not right with that shot. It just seems unusual here.
Okay.
It does look like there's a shape inside the cell, which shouldn't be there. This is one for analysis, I think, but it's just, we might want to draw our attention into that cell. We need to head over to that cell and take a look at what's there. Let's do that. Ending EVP session.
Is there anybody in here? Barry had Scott and myself follow up on what happened in the main cell block area.
Could you say something to us, please?
As you can tell, we're not from here. We just want to know what went on here.
Did you hear that?
It sounded like it came from down here.
Yeah, it sounded like you're shifting or something.
I thought I heard footsteps.
These doors seem, what the hell was that?
What the hell was that in the room in front of me?
What was that? Oh my God, I heard that.
It was in this room.
Yep. Go in, go in, go in.
While Scotty and I were investigating the main cell area, we did hear a pretty big noise.
Are you trying to communicate with us?
Is there anybody here? We heard a loud sound in this room. Did you make that sound?
This is going off.
Don't be afraid of us. What do you want?
It's not going off now.
At one point during that session, the millimeter did go off a little bit. That was kind of strange.
I don't want to stay here tonight.
I don't think we have a choice.
You're hearing that?
I keep hearing very slight noises.
See if we can pick up some of those sounds on the audio recorder.
During our investigation, we were hearing what sounded like murmuring and voices coming from the other side of the wall. Are you the woman who possessed the man who was sleeping here?
Is there something darker here? Something that was never human? If there is anybody in here with us at all, is there any way you can possibly let us know that you're here with us? Did you hear that?
What was that?
It sounded like it was right next to me.
What did it sound like?
Somebody went.
Have you finally come to join us? Do you hear that?
Sounds like a female voice.
Yeah. That's exactly what I heard.
It's a female.
Who's here with us? It sounded like somebody was taking very slow steps on the floorboard right by the sink over here. Almost like they were tiptoeing.
I'm hearing something.
I was hearing something, it sounded almost like a television, where you could hear like several voices, like a conversation going on.
What happened?
Something touched my back.
If that was you, we definitely noticed your presence. We felt you.
Can you please come forward and show yourself?
What?
I got the chills. I'm just a bit jumpy now. I did feel that something had touched my back, like a pillow, and someone was trying to put a pillow behind my back, that sort of feeling. And it was a very sort of soft pressure, and, you know, it's weird.
Please, if you're here with us, I would really appreciate to know that your spirit is still here with us.
I just saw a shadow.
Where?
Against that wall.
Is it from outside?
There's nobody outside, is there? No, definitely not. You just died across like that.
We were actually quite lucky investigating the infirmary because it seems like whatever is in the infirmary likes to make contact, physical contact with who's ever there. It's really unusual. Something's definitely going on back here.
There's something odd about this room.
This place is giving me the creeps now.
Barry and I headed into cell 11. There was one point that I was seeing some sort of shadow in the hall. We had a few pictures in that direction, and when we looked at the pictures, something odd was coming up in the room. There's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, it was cell 11, and this is the room that our client had been locked in.
Now, the thing is, we were taking a picture over there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever this was standing here. There's the door.
Yeah.
That locks on our client.
Yeah, I don't understand why this thing would lock.
If you stay there.
Yeah. It does stick.
But it's not locked, though.
One of the things we noticed is the latch. It really can't just lock on its own if you walk in there and the door was to slam shut behind you. So I don't know how we debunked this one.
AVP session. My name is Barry, and this is Chris.
Hello. Were you the person that locked a woman in this room?
Was that you standing here in the window as I took a photograph? Do you know who has been tapping Chris on the head? Is Chris doing exactly what you did? You sat here all day and watched as people worked out in the gym?
I keep seeing some sort of movement just right out here.
In the corridor itself?
In the corridor, yeah, which is where I've seen it before. I was seeing some sort of shadow play. It was just really odd.
Joe and Scott, investigation in the women's area.
I believe it's cell 24, where the women used to stay. And, what is that? Sounded like it was this thing. Like if it was turning.
Hang on.
That's what it sounded like.
That is what it sounded like.
We heard a noise. It sounded like a wheel turning. There's nothing else that could make that kind of a noise.
Hello? You have anything to say to us?
I thought I heard footsteps.
What was that?
It sounded like something tapping. While Scotty and I were investigating, we did hear a couple of strange things. We were hearing footsteps at one point, and we were hearing some tapping sounds. All right, let's go over here then.
I'm gonna sit here, Joe.
You don't sit on the bed. Scotty and I moved into cell number 24, where a woman was staying in the bed, and something flipped her over. Beginning EVP session. We hear that you've been known to pick people up and turn them over. If you are here, that same spirit, could you do the same to my friend Scott, please?
Do you want to be left alone? Do you wish your place to be undisturbed?
Something's flashing.
I'm gonna get up.
Can you do that again, please? I saw the blinking lights. Weird. Can you make it go really crazy? What?
Are you kidding me?
Was that like an EMF spike, right?
It was a spike.
Okay, we don't know if that's actually you or not. If you are trying, I thank you. But can you do that one more time? This time at 5. When I count to 5, make that piece go off again, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my God.
Scotty and I were investigating cell 24. We had Scotty's ambient temperature deviation devices alongside the millimeter. When I count to 5, make that piece go off again, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Okay.
That was awesome.
It was. During our session, whenever I would ask a question, it would seem that the devices would go off.
Can you do that again for us, please?
Can you tell us how many spirits are here? If there are more than 6, could you make that device blink again? Whoa.
Holy. Do you know who this person Roland is?
There was a woman that was in this bed, and you flipped her over. If you were the one that did that, could you make this device I'm pointing to beep again, please? I'll count to 10, and if you want us to leave this room for now, we will leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It blinked. I gotta honor it. We have to leave this room.
Thank you very much for your time. We'll be leaving now. That was pretty cool.
That was interesting.
Okay, this is an EVP session. Paul and Susan, we're out by the gallows.
Hello? Is there anybody here with us right now?
If there is anybody here, can you give me a sign that you are here? Roland, what about you? Are you here? One of the most notorious stories coming from this particular location would be that of Roland Edwards, the nut job that decided to go and kill his entire family. We started to try and provoke Roland.
Hey, Mr. Edwards, if you're here with us, I just wanted to let you know I know what you did to your family. I think deep down inside, you're just a sick man. A crappy father, a crappy husband who couldn't take care of his family properly, so he killed him.
In cold blood, stabbed and beat them with a club. Roland, that's what it is.
You are indefinitely a piece of
I agree with you. That is a piece of deserves everything you get. You made me sick, I'll be honest with you. I expressed my anger towards Roland, and if there is any spine left in the guy, he may have actually responded. So let's find out when it comes to analysis.
Okay, folks, I think we've had a great investigation. Let's get our bags and get settled into the rooms and see where this night's going to take us.
You could claim whichever bunk you want.
I'll take the bottom.
The main part of the investigation is over. Now we're handing it over to our technology, which is going to be running all night.
I'm going to stay dressed in case we have to run and chase something down.
Hopefully, even in our sleep, we will capture some activity.
So having spent the night here at Napier Prison, we're just about to go into analysis. Now, during the investigation, we had a lot of personal experiences, and we got a lot of evidence to go through to try and back up those experiences and maybe shed a little light on what is actually going on here at Napier Prison.
Did you guys find anything cool?
I jotted a lot of things down.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that came through, too.
Really?
I did check all the footage from the cameras we put in the rooms last night, but unfortunately, there was nothing unusual.
Well, did we get any evidence to back up these personal experiences?
I did get something really interesting from our investigation in the infirmary. Here, take a listen.
Sure.
He blamed it on the voices in his head.
Oh, wow, that is creepy.
Wow.
The infirmary in itself was pretty creepy, to be honest with you. Especially, I mean, the fact I got touched, we were hearing these noises. That's great that it was caught. So what else do we have?
I was reviewing the thermal footage that Barry had me review. He and Chris were in the infirmary, and he thought he saw a face in one place. I didn't pick that up. I did pick something up that's pretty cool, though. I want you guys to check this out.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's crazy. It looks like it shoots straight up.
Marianne, it's good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you guys too. How did you get on?
It was a great investigation, I have to say.
Almost instantly, we started having things happen. Joe and Scott were investigating in cell 24, and they had a bunch of equipment set up in there.
What you see here, Marion, are two temperature sensors. These will monitor a rise or decrease within temperature. And over on the other side is an EMF device, and that registers electromagnetic fields.
Can you make all the lights on that device you just made blink?
Oh, for goodness sake. Well done.
This is pretty rare.
And very compliant.
Yeah.
Take a look at this next piece. Paul and Susan are in the infirmary, and Susan was trying to address the spirit there, and it seems that something there may have been responding to their question.
He blamed it on the voices in his head.
That sounded like breathing, or?
It sounds actually like, I'm just going to loop that for you. Someone seemed to be responding to their question.
It feels strange to actually hear something on the tape. It just sort of makes it more real for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next piece we want to show you is Joe and Scott, and they are in the women's wing. And you're going to start hearing these noises that they were hearing.
Where the women used to stay. And, what was that?
Do that again. All right. Now, were you able to hear that?
Yeah, I heard it quite distinctly.
They were able to trace it down to the fire hose on the wall. They said that for whatever reason, that wheel was turning by itself.
Have you heard this before?
No, not the wheel turning, but you know, there's always something happening.
Now, as Chris and I investigated in the gym area, we happened to be looking back toward the corridor that leads past cell 11. And this is the cell, of course, where you were locked in.
That's right.
And something was moving back and forward along this corridor outside cell 11.
Oh.
So I turned the full spectrum camera around and was taking some still shots. In the cell here, there was this unusual shadow just appeared there.
Don't tell me I was sharing the cell with someone.
Now, this is a close-up. You can see it just
Quite
here.
big.
It actually was. But we can see it was caught in this particular image.
Okay, don't know what that could be. I don't want to know what that could be.
Take a look at this video we'd like to show you. This is a thermal sweep in the main cell block.
Marion, we use the thermal imager generally to see if there's anything untoward that would create that heat signature.
Okay.
We caught something on the thermal that we definitely find to be strange.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Just like come down here, quite bright.
Very quick. Now we have another clip of it slowed down a bit.
Something, whatever it is, passed pretty close to the end of that camera.
Oh, that's a worry.
Nothing to be afraid of.
I don't think any of us felt threatened.
No.
So I don't think you have to worry in that way.
So with all the evidence we collected, we do believe that Napier Prison is haunted.
It's scary, but it just makes us feel as if everything we've seen and heard has been proven.
Thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure.
Thanks very much for coming. Much
Thank you so much for having us.
To actually have GHI come in and make official that the place was haunted just gives you that bit of assurance that you're not going mad. Once my knees stop knocking like castanets, I will be able to look at it more objectively.
Folks, that was a great reveal, and Marion sends her thanks. She was very, very happy, if not slightly shaken, by the evidence that we were presenting to her.
I thought the investigation went well.
Oh, the investigation was fantastic.
Found a lot.
Every one of us had something going on there. Very weird.
There was a lot of stuff that went on.
Yeah.
But of course, our time here is now over. I hope everybody had plenty of rest because we have one big travel day ahead of us.